I've always wondered how animals exist in several species, with insects such as ants that exist in more than 10,000 species, each having their own differences, and yet they coexist in harmony. While we humans who exist in only one species find it hard to embrace our biodiversity. We fought on the basis of gender, religion, power, and money. But did you know a whole war was fought for killing a pig between the US and the UK? If you think that's a ridiculous reason for war, France and Mexico also fought a war because a pastry chef's shop got looted. Now we must ask ourselves the question, what if we were to look at these conflicts from a different perspective, from a different lens? Would that have solved the problem? I first realized that I needed a change of perspective back when I was in year 7, and a group of boys found me a fun target to annoy. They would call me names and slurs, one of them being Patu, which translates to cowardly and fearful, and at that time it would hurt a lot. But as I looked at it from a different perspective, I realized I was strong, I was fearless for going through what they put me through, for enduring what they put me through. At times, they would even pass on chits with an encoded writing, which I could not understand. And I would spend as much time as I could trying to figure out what they were talking about. It was a rainy day as well. One day it was raining heavily, and I had the chits in my hand, and they were soaking wet, and I would still try to figure out what they meant, what a snake, an apple, an igloo, and a fish meant. That's what it was written on there. It turns out it was my name, Saif. I realized at that time the best action would be no action at all. At times, one of them came up with an edited photo of me with an Animal Planet background, and the caption read, "A new animal has been discovered." And at that time, I was begging them not to spread it. But when I look back at it in retrospective, I find that it's really funny, and I should have taken no action at all. And then, when it went to the extent that one of them kicked me in the hand during a quarrel for a chair, and my hand got sprained for a week, I realized that it was time to take action, to ask for an adult for help. Going through these experiences, I realized that we need 5 different lenses of perspective. So ladies and gentlemen, I present before you the lens of judgment. And I put this first because it is overutilized in the wrong times. We often cast our judgment where it is not necessary. We must ask ourselves the question, are there any direct negative consequences to our judgment? Is there someone else whose judgment matters here more than our own? Then this is the time where you should take off the lens of judgment right away, and you should switch to another perspective. Think about the pastry chef shop that got looted. If the right judgment was passed in the right time, then the war could have been avoided along with the many lives that were lost. Next comes the lens, the passive lens. There are situations where you need not require to do any action at all. Think to yourself, are there any negative implications of me taking an action? Do I really need to do anything, or should I just let time heal the situation? That's when you should turn on the passive lens. Think about the big war. What if US and the UK would have done nothing? That war could have been avoided, and there was not much at stake. Next, we have the partnership lens. And not because it's stylish, it's my favorite because we need to understand our body's call for help. We need not neglect our body's call for help. We need to understand that it is completely fine to accept help or advice from someone else. Look through your social circle. Is there someone who is more skilled or has more knowledge in the matter? Is there a way you could turn it into a win-win situation for both parties? Is there a way that someone from your family or your friends would be more interested to help you out? Then that is a time where you turn on your partnership lens and you seek for help. Studies have proved that when you ask a partner, for a friend for help, the friendship improves. But do not overdo it because that will just worsen the friendship. Next, we have the context lens. It's not contact lens, it's context lens. And this one tells you and it helps you visualize how much time do you need in solving a problem. Think to yourself, what if you were to solve the problem in a few seconds, or in a few minutes, in a few days, or maybe even the course of a year? Think about how you could split the situation into different steps, each step being a small, minute step where you could eventually lead to a solution. That's where you should be able to visualize how much time you need and the root cause of the problem. Next and last, we have the negotiation lens. And this lens helps us understand which parts of the problem do we need to sacrifice. Think deeply. Are there any parts of the problem that we can sacrifice? Or if the situation is a no answer, can we turn it into a yes? So these lenses will help you visualize how to deal with a complex situation. Now, these lenses are not only limited to me. You can add and subtract as many lenses as you would require based on your needs. You could even combine the effect of two lenses together by wearing them one on top of the other, like this. Alright? So it's not limited to me at all. You can adapt based on your situations, but remember, to use the right lens at the right time is key in solving conflicts and complex situations. Thank you.